Well, it looks like your girl Star Jones is coming to VH1. She has a new show called Satan's Sisters. Listen, I shit you not, I'm not making this up. The story was posted on Variety.com. I'm going to read to you the story. Thank you, Elizabeth Wagmeister, for your article. I'm going to read to you the contents of the article. Check this out. So, Elizabeth writes, and I quote, VH1 is greenlit Satan's Sisters, a scripted drama inspired by Star Jones' 2011 book of the same name, which tells the behind-the-scenes story of a popular daytime ladies talk show inspired by her time on The View. Satan's Sisters will focus on the 5 female co-hosts of a popular daily talk show and the fireworks that ensue each weekday when they discuss life, love, family, politics, and gossip. These women, who all have very different points of view, pause the story right there. I just have to chime in right there, because on The View, those women are a bunch of liberal trash, just for the record. And like, for example, whenever the subject of like something like abortion comes up, everybody seems to be on the same page. They're all pro-abortion. So it's like there really is no different view on The View, except for that one lonely conservative schmuck that they put on the show who gets bashed and berated. So if it's anything like The View, then they really don't have different points of view. They just think that their points of view are different. They have different variations of the same damn point. Back to the story. Who all have very different points of view, are best friends and sisters. While they're on TV, but behind the scenes, they are Satan's sisters. A backstage world filled with power struggles, personal demons, diva fits, love affairs, man troubles, cack fights, and cocktails. The book is a fictional work of satire revolving around a talk show called The Lunch Hour, which will be the basis of VH1's show as alliances are forged, careers are made, and bridges are burned among the 5 hosts. Quote, I'm so excited that Satan's Sisters, which was such a fun book to write, is finally coming to the small screen, said Jones. Quote, I would be lying if I said that Satan's Sisters wasn't influenced by the soap opera life of daytime TV, but it is a work of fiction. All the characters are inspired in parts by someone I've worked with, worked for, interviewed, was interviewed by, and or even prosecuted. I hope she doesn't get sued. I had to pause the story right there. I heard that if you see, because I'm a writer as well, I heard that if you make a character like basically based off of somebody that you meant, like for example, that person finds out that it's about them, they may sue you in the future if they think it's like damaging to them. From what I understand, you can't, you got to be careful about making up characters that derive from personal interactions with people. You got to kind of be careful about that. But anyways, back to the story. Daytime TV now comments on and creates pop culture. Star Jones' book is the perfect project for VH1 and our partners to bring to life, said Chris McCarthy, general manager of VH1. Jones will serve as an exec producer on the series, along with John Berman, Susan DePass, Madison Jones, and Susan Levinson. Amy Engelberg and Wendy Engelberg will write the series, adapting the book, and will serve as exec producers. Sony Pictures Television is the studio. Jones was to The View, co-hosting from the first season throughout the 9th. At the time of her departure, she claimed that her contract was not renewed and she was fired. And she then endured a very public fight with Barbara Walters. The television satire genre has recently found success in Lifetime's Unreal, which, though also a fictional story, is based on a dating show like The Bachelor. For VH1, Satan's Sisters is a continuation in scripted programming following The Breaks, that's my shit for the record, which will become a series after the Cabler's original movie. First of all, they can say it's an original movie, but that was an adaptation of a book too, for the record. Anyways, the 3rd season of Hit the Floor currently airs on Monday nights. Satan's Sisters is slated for a 2017 premiere, end quote. So here's the deal. First of all, this show is going to be a mess. I already know now because it has Star Jones' name attached to it. I just know that it's going to be some old It's going to be one of those I love it but hate it at the same time types of shows. You know, and just for what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's going to be another pseudo Sex and the City type thing, just like how they did with, what was that show? Single Ladies, Single Sluts. You know, there's probably just going to be, you know, dick on the screen every other scene, just like it was a Single Ladies. Everybody's going to have a gay friend, or there'll be some sort of gay pet running around, you know. The obligatory gay guy up there sissing and swishing. And I mean, that's the thing about these shows. There's so much propaganda attached to them. There always has to be a gay guy. There always has to be a dick stapled to some woman's forehead. It's like they can't just make a good show. There always has to be a, hey, women, pseudo-sexually liberate yourselves. Go chase penis, or get yourself a gay friend and sit up there and gossip with them all day about absolutely nothing. And it's like they just don't want to make wholesome shows for females. Like, if you really watch The View, those women are actually pseudo-intellectuals. They don't really know shit about what they're talking about, but they're just senselessly rambling. Just basically, you know, the funny thing about it is, people will call out Raven Simone for being the airhead that she is, but pretty much all of those women on The View are freaking airheads, except for Whoopi Goldberg. She's pretty knowledgeable overall, but she's very misinformed about certain things as well. So what happens is, these women are basically sharing misinformation with the world. They don't really know what the hell they're talking about, but people like them because they like their personalities and because they're relatable. They shouldn't call it The View. They should call it The Relatables, because these are just, you know, they're supposed to be like average women or whatever. They're supposed to relate to the audience. And actually, the name The View is actually pretty appropriate, because it's just one view. It's a very liberal, contrived, corny, annoying view. Basically, what The View is there to do is to reinforce bad habits in the minds of women. And I really always hated that show with a passion, because I sat back and I saw it for what it was. And the fact that they would have a bunch of quote unquote liberal women and one quote unquote conservative woman. You know, I mean, is there anybody else in the world? Is there anybody who's maybe in between? Or how about somebody who just has a completely alternate point of view? You know, you have the conservative person that's like, yeah, and I support the war. Then you got the liberals who are like, I don't know about this war thing, but I do support abortion. You know, could they ever maybe have a woman who's anti-abortion and anti-war? Because that would be pretty consistent, you know, against children dying, you know, across the board. You see what I'm saying? There's no consistency. It's just, there's no real view other than just a distorted view. Actually, I think there was a show called Distorted View back in the day. Yeah, and I think, yeah, but that was a completely different show. Has nothing to do with this. Excuse me for senselessly rambling. The point is this, though. That show, The View, is just a terrible show. And I'm just waiting, just watching the clock, like, when is it going to go off air? Because a lot of people have been really pissed off at certain things that have been said. I heard the ratings have fallen to some degree, you know, but apparently it's still being watched because it's still on. And I think that Raven Simone might be kind of keeping the show alive, because people were just kind of waiting for her to say her, you know, the next stupid thing that's going to come out of her mouth. It's just really interesting, because you're like, look at this young, dumb, full of female cum chick. I mean, Raven Simone is just a mess. But anyways, I digress, because we're not, I mean, this is not really about The View, you know what I mean? But it has been at least partially inspired by The View. And if you've ever seen The View and you know how Star Jones gets down, prepare for some bullshit. I'm just sitting back like, okay, I'll watch the first 2 episodes, but I already know whatever I'm going to see is going to piss me off. I'm going to be seeing red. I'm going to be really, really angry. But hey, I'm going to give it 2 chances. That's my rule. I will watch your show twice. Anyways, let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. Do you think this show is going to teach women bad habits? Like, you see what the show is going to be about. I mean, it's called Satan's Sisters. Do we really need a show like that on TV? I mean, with all the reality TV and whatnot, all the trash television that we watch already, do we really need a scripted drama loosely based off of reality called Satan's Sisters? Are you going to pass in this one? Let me know what you think about it below. Meat Magazine.